Hello, Bookbellas and fellas, Kira here, and today I'm just doing a quick video to kind of discuss some of the goals that I am making for myself in 2019. 2018 I think was a very good year. I'm also going to be doing a review video regarding that because I read a lot of books this year. I, so far today, am up to 123 books, I believe, and I only had set my goal at 100, so I really did really well on it. I'm going to be coming out with statistics for that, but I really wanted to get into what I want to accomplish in the year of 2019 for my bookish goals. So I have a lot of really big books to read that I never got a chance to get to this year. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the amount of books that I'm reading to maybe like 80 books so that I have plenty of time to not feel pressured and work on reading a lot of my bigger books. Strange the Dreamer is one that I want to get to. I want to read the rest of the Throne of Glass series. And I also want to get to a lot of like my historical fictions that I haven't gotten a chance to get to. There's also some nonfiction books that I haven't gotten a chance to get to that I really want to get to. And I feel by lowering the amount of books that I'm setting for myself, it'll be a lot easier for me to get to all of these books. Something that coincides with that, another one of my goals is to get to a lot more of the popular fantasies that I haven't gotten a chance to get to this year. I want to get to Six of Crows. I want to get to the Daughter of Blood and Bone series by Lanny Taylor. Of course, I mentioned Strange Dreamer and all of the Throne of Glass books. I also would like to try to attempt to get to the Stormlight Archive by Brandon Sanderson, because those books are freaking huge. I know that they're going to take me a while and I don't want to pressure myself into hurrying through them. There's also a bunch of N.K. Jemisin books that I'd like to get to. There's some more fantasy books. So there's a lot of books that I feel like I would love to get to. I would also like to get to the Leviathan Wakes series, which I think is going to be amazing. I'd also like to get to the Witcher books, which are a little smaller, like those ones won't take me as long to read. I have so many mangas in between to read too. I want to read a lot of those as well, and I figure the mangas will help to break up a lot of those bigger books. I also feel like I need to start reading more classics. I feel like I focus a lot on the newer stuff and I don't read enough classics. Like I'd like to get to Fahrenheit 451. I'd like to get to Peter Pan. There's a lot of classics that I haven't gotten to, and I think I might do what Haley in Bookland does, and I think this is such a great idea. She actually goes through and she takes books from several different genres and she has them set on her TBR to read every month. So I think what I'll probably end up doing is maybe picking a nonfiction book to read, a classic to read, maybe a couple of my series books to read every month, depending on, like how into the series that I get, and then maybe like a smaller book and some mangas. I want to round out my reading a lot more, and I don't feel like I've really gotten a chance to do that this year. I also want to read a lot more books by African Americans and Asians, and I really want to diversify my reading tastes. So if you guys have any recommendations on really good books that can help me to diversify my reading taste, leave those down in the comments because I am very curious to hear what you have to say and I would love to check them out. Another thing that I'm going to do, probably I'm going to be trying this out for the first 3 months of the year, is I'm going to be going on a book buying ban, but I'm having rules for this. I'm going to be coming out with my book buying ban rules in a totally separate video. I know it sounds crazy to have rules for it, but I feel like there are some instances where it would be acceptable for me to buy a book. What I really find most of all that gets me into the majority of the trouble with all the books that I buy is the fact that I browse a lot. I am constantly on Goodreads. I'm seeing all of this stuff that people are posting. I'm like, oh, I haven't heard of that book before. I think I'm going to go and check it out. And so because I browse so much, I'm like, oh yeah, that's something I would read. And then I end up looking around, finding it for a really good price somewhere, if I'm lucky, and I end up getting it. So, and Book Outlet puts Book Outlet's the same way. I get into a lot of trouble with Book Outlet because how can you resist some of those deals? I mean, they give you coupons sometimes. They give you coupons not only on your email, but they give you coupons inside the box. And it's never ending coupons with them. And how can you say like no to a book like that's about $3-4 when you know if you go anywhere else and buy it, you're not going to get that good of a deal. So it is definitely a struggle when we have so many books as readers that we want to get to and we want to buy. And Book Outlet makes it so much easier for us to buy a lot of the books that we want. Book Outlet is like both the best and the worst thing that has ever happened to me. And I can't say like that I am not thrilled that I found that website, but temptation. so much temptation. So those are the 4 main goals that I have for my reading this year. Of course, like the first one was to lower the amount of books that I'm going to have set as my goal to read. Also, I'm going to be diversifying my reading taste as far as, what authors are writing what books. I want to broaden that scope. I also want to get into reading the popular fantasies that I didn't get a chance to read this year that I have in my possession, and I want to be able to read a lot of those as well, and also to try out my book buying ban. So those are the 4 major things that I'm looking to do in 2019. Well, guys, if you like this video, hit the little like, hit subscribe, and hit the little bell icon if you want to be sure to receive emails every time I post so you'll never miss a video. As always, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you again very soon.